What is good, guys? It's your boy Ray J here with another video, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about Tesla. I'm going to talk about some Tesla updates and what's going to be happening today, as today is AI day for Tesla. A lot of people are very, very hyped up and excited for what's going to be announced. If anything, guys, I'm also going to talk about where I see the stock price going for tomorrow and the upcoming future, both near term and the long term. But before I do anything, I have to mention two quick things. First of all, I'm not a financial, legal, or taxation expert, so do not take this as financial, legal, or taxation advice. Also, if you can, guys, please smash that like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire community as a whole. It helps more people learn about Tesla, have more confidence in their conviction, and just learn about what is going on and what to expect. With that said and done, I'm going to get on with the technical analysis. Obviously, if you look at the one-day chart, Tesla has had not as much volatility as many would have anticipated for. It has been on a bit of a downward trajectory overall, but overall, it's still looking pretty good. There was not a whole lot of volatility. It did fluctuate around the 680 and $672 ranges. And overall, it did look pretty good. It did have a bit of a downfall about an hour before closing, before a run up and consolidation. During the level of consolidation, it closed at $673.41. And overall, at the time of this recording, and as after the market closed, it's down 2.25%. And that is not bad for Tesla, considering the things that are going on. If we take a look at the Dow Jones had a pretty bad day too, down over 2.21%. That's very, very similar to actually Tesla. But if anything, guys, the Dow Jones and Tesla are not the same, but the Dow Jones is an indicator of what the overall market is doing. And obviously, the market did have like a big red day because of the Fed reverse repos that have been happening, because of what's happening in Afghanistan and many other things. And if anything, guys, these reverse repos are not a huge thing that I'm super worried about for the long term future, because overall we know that Tesla is a long term play, and in the future Tesla has huge upside potential. And obviously, looking at Tesla, guys, there's massive potential for it. I do believe it's going to hit $900 by next year, the beginning of next year. Near the end of the year, it's easily going to break the $800 level of resistance. And I easily see Tesla actually making big moves after maybe the upcoming months. But for tomorrow and for the near future, it's not. It's very capricious. I don't necessarily know what's going to happen, but I do anticipate a red day. And now I'm not saying Tesla's going to go red. I just think it's a lot more intelligent to assume it's going to be a red day in case there are people that want to be prepared. Because typically when Tesla has its big days, like its AI day or like its battery day, there have been red days. Now it's happening today at 5 p.m. in Palo Alto, California, and if anything, it was tweeted by Elon Musk that the sole goal is to lure more experts in the field of robotics and AI to come work at Tesla. And if anything, they're going to go over their hardware and software for their engineers. They're going to go over new parts and technology, their AI technology, and talk about innovations that have come for their self-driving features as well. They're going to talk about how they're manufacturing their own computer chips, which is going to be really cool in the upcoming future, and it's going to maybe attract more investors coming up. Now, if anything, that could be promising for a green day, and that may be the reason why Tesla had a run up like this, because overall Tesla would typically be a little bit more down today because of how the market was, but it had lots of support at low levels because AI day is around the corner. So people are buying and being really excited, which is why Tesla did not crash as much as it could have. But if anything, I suspect that there's a lot of hype involved, and a lot of people think Tesla's going to explode or some groundbreaking innovation will come. And that's not a guarantee. It may happen, it may not, but it's very probable that the amount of hype out there may be so strong that people believe that it doesn't meet the full expectation. Now, I'm not saying Tesla's a bad company. Tesla's an amazing company. It's superb. I believe in its future. But the problem is when there are extremely high expectations, because people have the highest expectations for Tesla, it sometimes doesn't always meet these crazy expectations. There's no such thing as a company that's good all the time. There are going to be good moments, there are going to be bad moments, there are going to be external influences that hurt the company as a whole. So with that said and done, because I think Tesla is going to retest the $650 level of support in the near future. I see that happening after AI day. I think tomorrow it's going to actually drop and then have a bounce up and then consolidate and close around the $665 range, somewhere around there. I do not see a massive move, even though tomorrow could be a good day. And I like to assume that's going to happen. Why? Because in the future, guys, we should assume the worst because we'll be prepared for whatever scenario happens. It could end up exploding and testing going as high as 700, but that's very unlikely considering how these days have been. Typically, on battery day and other days, Tesla does go down and may end up happening. But once again, guys, Tesla's a long term play. I do not think that Tesla is just going to crash and that's the end. I believe that in the future, Tesla can hit $800 easily by the end of this year. And by next year, we should see it in the $1,000+ range. And I believe that's going to happen. It's going to take time because there's a huge, huge, huge amount of potential for the EV market. And if anything, guys, Tesla's looking good. They may unveil some really, really cool things. They may bring in more investors, but if anything else, I'm very, very confident in Tesla. I'm very confident in what they're trying to do. I also heard about how they're planning a long range Model Y crossover, and that's really, really good. But that may not be announced too much on AI Day. It may be, maybe not. But if anything, there are huge innovations coming. If you look up Tesla right now, people are talking about AI Day. They're talking about new innovations. They're talking about the autopilot improving. They're talking about other things, and there isn't as much FUD for the day, which explains how Tesla could have had the run up it had. Now, obviously, guys, I'm very bullish for the long term future for Tesla, but I'm going to quickly, just briefly talk about the company NEO. And obviously, NEO had a pretty, pretty tough day. I did expect it to have a lot more resistance at the $37 range. But instead, it has been going on a downward trajectory. Its level of support ended up dropping a lot lower, and it's down to it closing at $36.30 a share. That was not entirely expected, but that's okay because the overall market, external things in the market, things that are going on are playing a big role in causing this to happen. Obviously, Tesla was down too, and that plays a big role as the EV companies tend to be correlated. But obviously, man, Tesla had a down day and so did NEO, and NEO's down day was a little bit worse, but I'm not necessarily worried about NEO because I do know that NEO is a long term play, just like Tesla. So the NEO ET7 just completed their winter test in New Zealand. So they basically shipped an ET7 model to New Zealand so to see how it would perform in cold weather, and they're basically improving their car as it goes along. The ET7 may not come out until early 2022, so remember that, guys. Next year, which is just a couple of months away, within 6 months, this car should be out and a direct competitor with Tesla's Model S. But when this comes out, it's going to be huge for NEO's share price. At least theoretically, it should be. But if anything, guys, the future is very, very bright. I'm just going to go over some quick specs, considering that it could have a 150 kilowatt battery with a range of over 600 miles. Once again, guys, 600 miles if it has that battery. The specific number is 620 or more miles. Their largest battery in the ET7 would give you the longest range, and it would be even longer than that of Tesla. But if anything, guys, I'm not going to compare the cars to say which is better. They're both great cars. Both of them are awesome. Both have fast acceleration, lots of horsepower. And this is what NEO is focused on for the future. This is what they've been working on. And they are squaring up and becoming stronger and building their brand and improving as a company. So when it comes to technical analysis, they have been on a pretty much downward trajectory, testing another level of support. And their level of support where they could like stop at would be the $35 range. The $35 range is where I would see NEO going by, the near term. But I think that NEO is going to be affected by Tesla's AI day, which is today. Because if Tesla has a huge, huge, huge run up, even though I don't think that's going to happen, if Tesla were to theoretically hit 700, NEO would most likely have a green day too. But if Tesla were to crash, if it were to crash to 650 and test that level of resistance before consolidating, it's very probable that NEO will have more room to crash just a little bit more, and NEO may fall as low as the $35 range and just test at 34, but before consolidating, coming up a little bit and testing and closing at the 36 again. So that's what I predict is going to happen to NEO. Even though I do have a downwards prediction, I don't think that's going to last forever. Eventually, NEO is going to have a big comeback. It's going to come up, it's going to come back, and it's going to be strong. It's just going to take time, but you need lots and lots of patience. And if anything, guys, we do not quit. With that said and done, guys, the stock market is not a sprint. It is a marathon. We just have to be patient. We have to hold our conviction because in the long term, I do see NEO eventually surpassing $80 within a year from now. I do believe that's going to happen, but I can't guarantee it as there are external influences that affect the NEO share price. But if anything, guys, NEO is strong. It's a good buy based off its fundamentals and it's strong. So I want you guys to just not give up. We stay calm and we just keep on pushing forward. So thank you so much for listening, guys, and I will most definitely see you on the next one.